the next 6 to 12 months, I could see the silver price going to, might sound crazy, but I don't think it's crazy at all. The gold price is the canary in the silver mine. Well, the platinum price is the fuse burning down to the silver price explosion. Super slingshot. The war drums are beating. If you keep everything in dollars, you're gonna just lose. You're bleeding out. It's not accurate. It's a flim-flam number. If my prediction serves correct, then I'm suggesting Hi folks, it's Silver Dave at local Silver Mint in Ware, New Hampshire, where we have the lowest prices and the best selection of the most wonderful silver and gold items from all around the world. And we do these awesome, informative videos, which are both fun to do and we hope that you're getting some useful information out of them. I want to talk about something that I discovered in the charts that is making me It is giving the Home Alone face because, wow, it tells a story. And history either repeats or rhymes, something like that. I'm going to break this down for you. Here we go. First, I want to rewind back to 2008. 2008 financial crash. The banks were making loans that were not wise. And the loans that they made had become so big and monstrous, combined with the fact that they weren't getting paid because people were stiffing them on the loans because they loaned money to people that couldn't pay it. They were just giving it away. And so in turn, there was a big aftermath to that. And so, as we know, a lot of things happened from the 2008 financial crisis, including bailouts for the biggest banks. Not you, not me. Prices still went up at the grocery store. Inflation went up massively. But the biggest banks, who are in bed with the different members of Congress and the different politicians, they got their payouts. So with that being said, I'm looking at the 2008 financial crisis, and I'm looking at the charts. I don't know about you guys, but I like to look at some of the 30-year charts. It's actually kind of hard to find 30-year silver, gold, and platinum charts. But if you search for them, you can find them. They're just a little harder to find, but they tell you some very useful information. Now, current situation, 2025. Right now, the banks are in a situation of insolvency that is far beyond 2008. They kicked the can down the road, but now the can is bigger. It's now like a barrel instead of a can. I would suggest that the financial situation right now is so rickety that it is arguably 100 times worse than 2008. Now, when I looked at the charts from 2008 to 2011, note that gold, silver, and platinum reached all-time highs during that time period. What really caught my attention on the 30-year charts was I noticed that gold had more of a 45-degree angle on the chart, and it hit an all-time high of around $1,800 in 2011. And so it was actually the first, the gold price, because back here in 2008, the gold price already started reacting to the situation, and it was already climbing all the way so that by 2011, it had already flattened out. Now, there was a delayed reaction on the platinum when the platinum price started cranking up. Was a little later, the gold price started reacting in 2008, almost right away started going up at a 45-degree angle. But the platinum price, not till 2009, and then by 2010 was in the middle of its crank. And so when I saw, then also I should add that platinum surpassed gold, and that platinum went to an all-time high of over $2,000, whereas gold all-time high stopped at 1,800, at least in this time period. Obviously, those of us know that in the past few months, gold has gone higher. Now, the next thing is this, what's really interesting here is that about 3 weeks ago, I was really deep diving into these charts. And one of the other things I noticed is I'm looking at the different coins in our showroom, and I noticed that, you know which coin has the highest face value of any coin from the US Mint? Well, the 1 ounce gold eagle only has a $50 face value, whereas the 1 ounce platinum eagle has a $100 face value. Now, I wonder why that is. Is it just an accident, a coincidence, or is it because the very powerful people involved in this thing know that platinum typically is of a higher price than gold? And speaking of that, if I look back on the charts, platinum has been generally on par or slightly higher than gold for most of the past 100 years. That in 1890, roughly, platinum was lower than gold, but into the early 1900s, platinum was at or above gold, and when you look at it, it looks like platinum has mostly been higher than gold at any given time, with this past few years being an exception. And so in turn, why is the face value double of what the gold eagle is on the platinum eagle? So therefore, I'm theorizing that platinum may actually go higher than gold. Now, I'm going to wait till I tell you about silver, but let me finish with platinum first. So if I had to make any guesses, I think it's possible that just like in 2008 through 11, now everything is so much more extreme. I think it's quite possible we may see platinum pass the gold price. We may see $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000 platinum. But wait, there's more. The silver price. The last thing, when I looked at the charts, the last of the metals to crank after 2008, gold, immediate reaction to the financial crisis. Platinum, delayed reaction to the bank crisis. Silver, extra delayed reaction combined with super slingshot. The silver price actually went up, we're talking exponentially, and as it hit almost $50 an ounce in 2011, reaching an all-time high. And so silver was the last of the three metals to make the move. And so if my prediction serves correct, then I'm suggesting that first we're going to see platinum cranking for this next matter of months, possibly for the next year. And then after the platinum crank comes the silver crank. And over this past 3 weeks, we've seen platinum has gone up almost 30%. Also, I should mention that 1 month, a little less than a month ago, we made a video in which I said that I anticipate the silver price hitting $38 in the next matter of weeks. And that was like 3.5 weeks ago. And just yesterday, the silver price was $37.30. And so I do think we're going to see the silver price is going to keep trickling up. And also note that now, not only do we have this financial situation, but you got to bear in mind that goods and services inflation much higher than it was in 2011. In 2011, a stick of butter was like $1.99. Now a stick of quality butter is like $5 or $4.99 or $5.99. A dozen eggs was like $1.99. Now it's like $6.99. And so just the inflation adjusted silver price should be hundreds of dollars. But also, let's not forget, war drums are beaten. The war drums are beaten. They're moving aircraft carriers over into the Middle East. There's obviously lots of talk about this stuff. It is very clear the war drums are beating. And if there's any historical data about wars and precious metals, is that typically wars, especially big wars, cause the precious metals to go up. And typically big wars like world wars might be coming, is an opportunity for the dark overlords to reset the financial system. And when they reset the financial system, usually the metals have a massive gain and it becomes buried in history because they reset the currency. So they hide the precious metals price crank is hidden in the reset. And that way, over the next 100 years, people don't learn that the currency that governments borrow from central banks is devalued and hyperinflated eventually, and that's this pattern over and over again. But very powerful men and women, I don't know who they are, but very powerful, and they've hidden this in the history. So in turn, that now we're in this incredible place, and I think that like I said, platinum could go 5, 6, 7,000. And note, that's if gold stays where it is. I think gold, we're about to end this video, it's coming up real soon, but here's the part where you're gonna either say, oh, silver, Dave, that's crazy. But I hope it's true. And quite frankly, people have been called crazy, including brilliant scientists and people who were right about stuff, and they were called crazy until they were proven right. So this is not abnormal. And you also got to bear in mind, too, the hyperinflation that's coming. So if we see prices of precious metals, that may also reflect some inflation. So when we talk about I'm just going to say it so I can make this point. I could see $10,000, even $20,000 gold. However, it doesn't mean all the other things stay the same. $20,000 per ounce gold might mean $100 per dozen eggs, $200 per gallon gas. So there may be other things may go up too, though I think gold, then especially silver and copper, I think are going to have the most reaction. So here's the part where I might sound crazy, but I don't think it's crazy at all. I could see gold going $10,000, even $20,000 in the next 2 or 3 years. Platinum? Well, if platinum beats gold, platinum, nominally I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few months that platinum could even go to $2,000, $3,000, even $5,000, $4,000. Totally possible in the short term. Long term, longer term could beat gold and could even beat $20,000 platinum. And then silver, which is the most papered over of the three, the most papered over, the least abundant, yet it's the lowest price relative to the other things and the geological data about how much of it exists. So in turn, silver price, I could see the silver price going to several $100s in the short term. I'm talking about in the next matter of months, the next 6 to 12 months, I could see the silver price going to $200. But I don't see it stopping there because they're going to inflate the currency until they destroy it. So these things are going to keep going up until it destroys the currency. And then they'll have to issue a central bank digital slave currency. And when they issue that, it's a big problem. I hope you have little bits of silver that you could trade for goods and services. But in turn, yeah, in the next matter of months, I could see silver go to hundreds. But then in the long term, in the next 2 to 3 years, I could see silver go into thousands. I know I've mentioned before, even $12,000 per ounce silver. If gold goes to $20,000, which I think is totally possible in the next few years, then I would see silver being about a tenth of that. And so at $20,000 gold, I could see $2,000 silver. I could see $12,000 silver. Note that other things may also reflect the inflation. Eggs may be more expensive, gas. So it wouldn't, I'm not necessarily suggesting that silver goes to, thousands and everything else stays the same. But I think there's a huge gain potential. And also there's a huge loss potential if you keep all your money in physical dollars. Though I think it's a good idea to keep some physical cash on hand, but that your cash and your on deposit in the bank, your 3% CD that you're giving, it is not even keeping up with inflation. And the CPI index and the different things they're using to suggest what the inflation is not accurate. It's a flim-flam number. So in turn, not only, can you protect your hard-earned wealth, precious metals, but you might actually make gains. But at least, whether you make gains or not, you're going to have something of value that holds its value that you could trade even outside of the digital system, versus if you keep everything in dollars, you're going to just lose. You're bleeding out. You'll be bleeding out. You're just going to lose a ton of money. So, and I'm not a financial planner, and this is not financial advice. This is just stacker talk, and I'm into this stuff. But this is what I see. And so in conclusion, if the platinum price is cranking over this next several months, then I think that means that the silver price is going to crank sometime soon thereafter. So, as I mentioned in a previous video, that the gold price is the canary in the silver mine. Well, the platinum price is the fuse burning down to the silver price explosion. Silver price. Here we go. You want to be in position. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Real quick, I made this silver chart for you. It's just a little silver chart I made just to help you. So thank you so much, folks, for watching. I am Silver Dave, reminding you to stack it up. Yeah!